Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the Low Budget Review Show. I am your host, Eric Smith, and today I'm talking about Lupe by Gene Thompson. Got to read it off the side there because it's not on the front cover. There's Lupe. Oh, what do we have here? Holy crap, look at that. All right, I'm just going to read the back cover copy because that's what I do nowadays, apparently. The Vatican, 5th century AD. Pope Gregory has ordered to be sealed forever the ninth Gregorian chant, a profane, unholy invocation to the devil. San Francisco, 1977. Emily Blake has begun to hear strange, disembodied voices calling to her in her home. Her husband's lover has burned to death in a chair behind a locked door. The ancient charge of murder by witchcraft has been leveled at Emily. Emily, whose only hope may be a grotesque 11-year-old boy with a demonic sexual craving. A little boy who has already taken her once, evilly. A little boy who taught her the tune of a chant unheard for 1,500 years. Lupe. That's a lot of information on that back cover. All right, so first of all, for the too long didn't watch folks, I gave this 2 out of 5 stars. It was okay. Maybe if I pushed it, 2.5, but I'm definitely not rounding it up to 3. So on Goodreads, it got 2 stars. So I did not reread the back copy before jumping into the book. I actually just picked this up at the beginning of October, based on the cover, based on reading the back, but then I forgot about what it said. Didn't matter to me. So the fact that it starts out with mentioning the Vatican in 5th century AD, shocking to me. The fact that it mentions her husband's lover has burned to death in a chair behind a locked door, shocking to me. And the fact that it says the ancient charge of murder by witchcraft, shocking to me. Because this is the first time I've read that back cover since I read the book. So, why did I only give it 2 stars? Well, first of all, this was a roller coaster of a ratings ride. I started reading the book, and for a little while, I'm like, all right, it's 2 stars. It's fine. There's nothing thrilling about it. I found the dialogue to be stilted. The writing style wasn't grabbing me. So it was not bad. I'm not hating this book. It was just okay. It was enough to keep me going, to not put it aside. Wasn't annoyed by it or anything. Although there are weird elements. Like the very beginning, the very first page, Emily and her husband, David, I believe, yes, David, are looking at this house that they're going to end up buying. And Emily's got a bad feeling about it. And I still don't know why. I don't think the house has anything to do with anything. But she's got a bad feeling about it. And there's weird noises very early in the book that, again, I don't think have anything to do with anything. But who knows? Maybe I missed something. I don't think so, though. So, reading it for a while, we meet the characters. David takes a lover. I'm not giving anything away. It was right there on the back cover. Emily, her best friend is Marianne. Marianne takes Emily. Marianne is going to see I believe, a fortune teller. She takes Emily with her, and there they meet Lupe, who knows about her husband's lover and says if she has sex with him, he'll take care of it for her. He's like 11 years old. So then crazy things start happening. She starts seeing Lupe. Not going to give too much away. But again, it says her husband's lover has burned to death in a chair behind a locked door. The ancient charge of murder by witchcraft has been leveled at Emily. This is when I'm like, holy shit, This book is definitely getting 3 stars. The courtroom stuff was, I really, really liked the courtroom stuff. Still to dialogue, some things happening that I don't think would happen as far as courtroom stuff goes. But this is where I really became interested. Oddly, in a horror novel, it's the courtroom drama stuff that pulled me in. And I do think it's crazy that in 1977, a district attorney in San Francisco would level a charge of witchcraft, murder by witchcraft, against someone. But yeah, this is when my rating started going up, but it wasn't enough. Other things happened, and it started dropping again, and overall, ups and downs, but it leveled out again, maybe a 2.5, but 2. It was okay. I can't really say I liked it. I liked parts of it. But overall, can't really say I liked it. Didn't hate it. It was okay. And again, I'm using these ratings based on how Goodreads labels their star ratings. I thought it was crazy reading the blurbs on the back of the book. Horror and suspense blend brilliantly. A taut thriller calculated to scare the bejeebers out of anyone. New York Post. I don't know about that. Scary, shocking, absolutely convincing. The best occult thriller since Rosemary's Baby. You shouldn't miss it. Cleveland Plain Dealer. I disagree with both of those. There are some cool things that happen in the book. But, and the character of Emily, I could be completely wrong on this. If anybody else has read this, I definitely want to know your thoughts. I found the character of Emily to be a bit ridiculous and possibly unbelievable. Now, there are parts, I understand, there are parts where this might be a little spoilery. Let me know if you think this is spoilery. There are parts where people are gaslighting her. Basically, she knows something supernatural is going on. We, the readers, know something supernatural is going on. But there are people, and especially her husband, that keep telling her it's not. It's in your head. So I understand some of her actions. But some of her other actions, and some of her husband's actions, especially in the courtroom, I just find ridiculous. And I don't know that, and again, I could be completely wrong. I'm not a normal person, but I don't think a reasonable person would necessarily behave in the ways that they do in the courtroom and in some other situations. So, yeah, the characters, I think, I didn't like Emily. I didn't like her husband. I liked their lawyer. And as I said, I liked the courtroom stuff. So the judge and the prosecuting attorney were fine. They're not completely fleshed out. We don't get as much of them as we do their lawyer. Didn't care about her friend Marianne. So, yeah, not a lot of characters that I could really get behind. And as always, I understand characters don't have to be likable. But I actively, at times, disliked David and Emily and Marianne. So, yeah, there you have it. Hopefully I haven't spoiled too much. At least not much more than was spoiled on the back cover copy. I'm going to keep this. I like the presentation. It'll go on the shelf that way with the spine out. But and who knows, maybe someday if enough people tell me I'm completely wrong, I doubt this is ever going to happen, but there's always the possibility I could reread it years down the road. I have read things a second time and enjoyed them more than I did the first time. And it's a nice book to have around. Yes, I'm a collector, not just a reader, and I like a good die-cut cover from 1977. But that's Lupe by Gene Thompson. 2 out of 5 stars. And that's all I have to say about that. And this is from Valentine, it looks like. All right. Well, I've talked about making recommendations instead of, or in addition to asking a question, but sometimes it's difficult because a recommendation might spoil the book. I'm trying to think of which books, since we're talking about The Charge of Witchcraft, that's out there in the open. Well, there you go. The Witches, by somebody whose name I cannot read from here. Peter Curtis is what it looks like. The Witches by Peter Curtis. It's part of my Hammer. I thought it was Hammer film novelizations, but it turns out The Witches was actually a book first and then made into the movie by Hammer Films. I think all the rest of them up there are novelizations of the Hammer movies. But The Witches, yeah, I really, really enjoyed The Witches. I have it reviewed here on my channel. I don't remember if I gave it 4 out of 5, but I really, really dug that book. There's a Brian Smith book that's about witches. I think it's called Strange Ways. But let's do a quick Google, because I know people love it when I'm looking things up on my phone during a video. Let's see. Whoops. Coven of Three Gorgeous, Immortal, and Very Evil Witches. Strange Ways, Brian Smith. Really enjoyed that. Completely different kind of witch book than The Witches by, hopefully it's Peter Curtis. But I recommend that. I'm a huge fan of Brian Smith's stuff, and that was a fun book. I know I have some other witch books that I haven't read, so I can't recommend them. And there are other books that I would recommend, but might be then spoil some of the things that happen in Lupe. And maybe I can't recommend the book because I didn't read it. But The Conjuring 3, the movie The Conjuring 3, is, in case anybody doesn't know, it's about a young man who commits a murder, and his defense is essentially, literally, the devil made me do it. He was possessed by a demon. The demon made him commit the murder. And it's the Ed and Lorraine Warren are involved. I have the book about that case of the Warrens, but I haven't read it yet. And I don't know that I'd recommend the movie. It's okay. I think if you're a Conjuring fan, you've probably already seen it. And if you haven't seen it, you're probably not a Conjuring fan. I could be wrong about that, but I didn't think it was terrible. But I'm definitely going to read. I have all the Ed and Lorraine Warren books, and I definitely want to read that one. But I can't recommend it, as I said, because I haven't read it yet. And I can't remember the title of the book. It's not The Conjuring 3, but be easy to find. Anyway, so that's that. 2 recommendations: The Witches by Peter Curtis, Strange Ways by Brian Smith. And so no question for this video because I didn't bother to think of one. And that's it. If you have any comments, questions, or corrections, please put those in the comments below. Comments are open for spoilers. Just post spoiler warning. Try to be polite here at the Low Budget Review Show. Please like, share, and subscribe. All the usual YouTube stuff. If you'd care to follow me on other social media, I will have links for my Twitter, Instagram, and Bluesky in the description below. That's all I have for you. This has been the Low Budget Review Show. I have been Eric Smith. And until next time, read more books.